Hi guys, it's Little Kansas Kitty and I'm welcome back to my journey. I had the RNY gastric bypass surgery on June 25th, 2018, and I started off my high weight at 238 pounds. I'm 38 years old, I'm 5'6". That had me at a BMI of 38, and today I am down to 175. So that means I lost 3 pounds in the last week, and that makes me a BMI of 28 and a total loss of 63 pounds. I am so pleased and so happy with all of this weight loss and this success. I mean, I'm only 17 weeks out and I only have a 100-pound total loss goal, so I am just like right on target. This has been a super exciting week, so I'm going to try to keep this short and also really focused on the big marathon. So I ran the Kansas City Half Marathon today on October 20th, 2018, and oh my gosh, it was the best day ever. And not just today, but everything leading up to it. And you know, they always say, find joy in the journey. Find joy in the journey. And just having put together this training schedule and just sticking to it and I stuck to it for the last 9 weeks, this training schedule, and I did not miss a beat. I did not miss a run. And this week has just been incredible leading up to it, not only just for this accomplishment for myself and this milestone of running a race again after 2.5 years after having so much weight on me and just not even being able to believe in myself or think that I could run another race. So this weight loss surgery has been instrumental in just changing back my life and to make me feel it like me again. I really put the focus on this race on 2 of my favorite people, and that's my brother, who ran his second full marathon today, and also one of my good friends who ran her 100th marathon. Huge milestone, which we had a huge party and celebration afterwards. So last night there were 4 of us girls, so 3 of my other dear friends, 4 of us that were all running the half marathon today, and then my brother and my friend Carol and then some others were running the full marathon. So we had a pretty sizable group. Last night the texts were going strong about, what are you wearing tomorrow? We knew the temps were going to be in about 43, 44 degrees starting and ending around high 50s, 60s. So it's going to be perfect. Absolutely perfect running weather. No rain in the forecast. And so we kind of had that really busy excitement of, group text going last night of what are you wearing, and just, sending the well wishes and everything, and then saying and lots of funnies too, and then just, closing the night with a good night, and then waking up early this morning. First person that was up started the good morning text, and then they kind of turned into each one of us sending a poop emoji once we made that victory. And that's huge. Like, if you can go poo before a race, it's huge, because you just feel so much lighter and so much better. So as each one of us had their little victory, we just sent the little poop emoji through. And I was the driver today, so I went to one of my friends' houses where we all met, and then we all jumped in my car. And I'm really familiar with our Kansas City downtown area because that's where I work. And so we got there I picked everybody up at 5:50 a.m. We got there really good time, like 10 after 6. I mean, the traffic was not bad at all. So we just kind of huddled and hung out in our car and started putting on tattoos. I had a special logo put together by one of the graphic designers in our office to celebrate my friend Carol's 100th marathon. And so we just had some temporary tattoos made, and we were just like putting them all over us and everything. So that was kind of fun in the car while we were waiting and still warming up. Then we decided to go ahead and exit the car, and we went to a hotel close to the starting line that a lot of people do use the restroom at. So we got there, my brother was there, and some other our friends were there. So it was just like so much excitement. All of us just getting really, pumped. And so we went to the restroom, we looked down, we had less than 10 minutes to get the start. So we were rushing to get the start. The starting corral was packed. I mean, there were so many runners, and we couldn't even get to like a pace group or kind of a pace that we were thinking we would run the race at, because it was just so packed. The corral, the end of the corral was wrapping around. So they did the national anthem, and our friend Carol, who was running, her 100th, went kind of closer to the front. She did make her way to the front, and my brother made his way to the front because he was, his goal was to hang out with the 3:40 pace group. He had some major time goals for himself. So they started the clock, and the first person, crossed the starting line, and I had two of my friends then left with me, so it was three of us, and we kind of started off together. We had our earbuds in, and pretty quickly I noticed that my pace was already faster than I wanted it to be, because you're just filled with so much energy and so much excitement that you just want to just book it and go. And so it's really hard. You have to discipline yourself when you're in a race to pull back, and you feel like you're barely moving, but you're at a more pace that you need to be at. You have to pull back, because if you don't, you're going to lose the momentum later on in the race. So I quickly started to pull back. My friend Lisa, I saw her kind of moving, forward, and she kept glancing back, and I just smile at her. And we pretty much, it's our rule, kind of unspoken rule that, we'll start off together. We don't necessarily have to run together. We may be together for a few miles or so, but it is your own individual race. It's your own race, and you're going to run it at your ability and your pace, and we'll all be there together in the end to celebrate. So she started moving forward. My other friend Vanessa started falling back a little bit. So I was kind of, in the middle, amongst thousands and thousands of other, runners, Kansas Cityans, and runners from all over the place that were visiting. So I felt good about my pace. Initially, they had changed the course route. So I've done the Kansas City Marathon, I want to say 4 times already. And they changed it since the last time I ran it, because it's been 4 years since I've run it. And they kind of did a reverse order. Garmin was our sponsor, and they had changed the course, so it was different. I didn't study the route map like I usually do. I was like, I'm just gonna wing it. I'm familiar with the area, and this is not, I don't have major time goals for myself. So we started kind of moving along, and it was a kind of gradual incline to go deeper into downtown, and then it wrapped around onto the Paseo and into the Jazz District and around, and there were some pretty good inclines for the first few miles, and then we kind of got some good declines, and I reached about 4.5 miles, and I was kind of gradually going uphill, and I was just filled with this amazing feeling of gratefulness and thankfulness, because I had some of my colleagues texting me last night, good wishes and cheer, and my daughter put together a cheer with her pom-poms and video recorded it, and so I told her I would watch it right before I started running, and so I watched it on my phone, and I just had a lot of great energy, and some of you have given me like amazing compliments and encouragement and cheer through YouTube and through Instagram, and I just like, I don't know, just everything from the whole week of being with my friends and knowing that my dad was out there somewhere to cheer me along. It just hit me, and I just busted out in tears at 4.5 miles, and they were happy tears, just joyful. I was just so happy. And so then I made it to mile 7, and I saw my dad, and my dad is a former marathon runner, and so to be able to share this with him means the world to me. To make him proud means everything to me. And so I saw him at mile 7, and I just ran over to him off the course and gave him a big hug, and he had his little cowbell, his Austrian cowbell he was ringing, and he just gave me a big giant hug, and I kissed him and, you know, continued on, and he was like, "Go, Jessica," you know, in his German accent. Then at some point the half and the full marathon split from each other, and I was looking for my sister-in-law, my nieces. They were supposed to be around that point. I didn't see them, but I knew they were out there. And then kind of coming back, so now I'm probably at about mile 9 or so. I remember glancing down at my watch and thinking, oh my gosh, I've done 9 miles and I feel amazing. I paced myself so well. I wasn't burnt out in any way. Like 9 miles and I was feeling really good. So that's a really good sign when you're feeling strong. And so I kind of wrapped around Westport area, which is our kind of bar area. And I would find people to get high fives. So anytime there were folks lined up along the route, I would just get close to them and start high fiving them. And I was just feeding off, you know, the energy. And then I think I was getting close to, I want to say mile 11, and I was like, I need a high five, you know, I was like, I want another high five. And so there were some people lined up on the street, so I ran over towards them, and I just like put my hand up, and they all, you know, put their hands up, and it was like boom, 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 high five, high five, high five, high five. And then the last person in line was my dad again. I was like, Dad! And I gave him a big kiss. I was not expecting him at all. So got that last high five from my dad, and now I'm like, you know, past mile 11. Still, we had a pretty good incline, and I knew that because my brother had run the race route, and so had my friend Carol, and they had told me about it and warned me about the last 3 miles were going to be, you know, incline. But I've done so much hill training in my own neighborhood throughout the week that I was definitely prepared. I saw a lot of half marathon runners start to walk and start to, you know, just kind of back down, and I just was like passing people, and I'm still slow. Believe me, I am still slow, but I felt really good about it. So kind of reached to, I want to say like mile 12-ish, and everything changed. It was the most amazing decline hill ever. And as there were spectators that were like, it's all downhill from here, and you can't believe them, because spectators, I mean, they'll say things like, oh, you know, you're halfway there, or oh, you've got 4 more miles left, or you can't believe them totally. So I'm like, is it all downhill, or are they just, you know, trying to pump me up? And so I wasn't quite sure. I should have checked like the route a little bit better, and I just didn't know exactly where the finish was, but I could look at my watch and kind of see, okay, I've got, you know, 0.75 left. Oh, I've got, you know, half a mile left. And at some point I'm like, this hill is not stopping, and I picked up so much speed coming down. And I, oh my gosh, I wish I mentioned this earlier, but at some point earlier in the race, last Saturday, I ran 13.1 as kind of one of my last training runs, and I ran it in 2 hours and 45 minutes. And my goal is to be under 3 hours. So I knew I could, you know, I could do the 2:45, and I wanted to make sure that I was around there. But when I found the 2:45 pacers, they were annoying as Oh my gosh, this girl, she was like doing warm-ups with her voice and singing and shouting and screaming and telling them when to walk and when to run, like her group. And so I was like, I gotta lose this group. I can't do this. So I passed the 245 group, and I knew now that I was between 245 and 240. And then now going back forward to, I'm coming down the hill. It's like the grand, the finale or whatever. And I've already passed the 240 by now. And I'm starting to look at my watch and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I can make it. Like I was trying to do all the math calculations in my head. And I was like, if I pick it up, if I, pick up my pace, I think I can make it in 238. And that was all I had in my mind, only because I started off my highway at 238. I'm 38 years old. I started off a highway to 38, BMI. I had all these like 38s in my head. I was like, I think I can do this. I think I can run it in a 2 hour, 38 minute if I like just pick it up. And I had the energy, like I had it in me, and I just booked it. And then when I saw the finish line, right there in the horizon, I was sprinting. And I love finishing a race strong, when you can finish a race strong and then you just sprint to the end. And then I hear them, shout out my name on the intercom because they read my bib number. It was amazing. I just threw my hands up. I was so excited. And honestly, I think I could have kept on going. Like I felt so good. Just so happy, so joyful, so grateful, so energetic, so just everything, just such a great feeling. And I cried again when I passed the finish line. They immediately hung the medal around my neck, pretty awesome. And then they put like the little like foil little warmers on me. And I saw my couple of my other girlfriends that had already finished, and they were like, yay! And so then we pretty much waited for soon after Vanessa came through, and then we all went to the hotel that was like right there, and we just got like everyone got coffees. I didn't. I was just drinking my water, and went to the bathroom, kind of warmed up. It felt so good to just sit down, and then we kind of watched the time for us to come back out and cheer on my brother and Carol as they came through. They did incredible. My brother PR'd. He shaved off over an hour off his time. He was so spent. Like, he was delirious when he finished. He could not speak. His legs were about to give out on him. Like, he gave it his all. And I was so proud of him. We actually, when we ended up leaving, we had to leave him on a bench and come and get the car and pick him up because he was cramping. He could not walk. Like, he could not walk. And he was like shoving oranges and bananas and chocolate milk and just trying to like revive himself. And he did. He came around. Carol came through at a great time. She did it in a 4 hour, 3 minute, I want to say, 4:02 or 4:03. The announcer said it was, Carol's 100th marathon. She had her 100 bib on, and then we were all there. I mean, all of us. There were probably like 30 of us there to just, just wrap her in our arms and just show our love and support of her. We went then to my office, had a great party and get together, and it was the best. Like, such a great feeling. I just want to encourage you and remind you that to dream big and follow it. Like, this weight loss surgery has just opened up so many more doors again to me and allowed me to do the things that I'm really passionate about. And I know that you can find that passion too. So this is much longer than I wanted. Just wanted to share my special day with you, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Take care. Bye.